Hi, this is David Davis from ActualTech Media, live here at VMworld 2016, and I'm excited to be joined by Mr. Brad Petersen, who's the Vice President of Marketing for Workspot. How you doing, Brad?
Great, David. Thanks for coming today, man. We can't wait to tell you all about the story.
Awesome, awesome. So I've been learning a little bit about Workspot, an amazing VDI solution. So tell me, what is Workspot and how does it help?
Well, you know, I think I like the fact you think it's amazing, because so do we. And you know what's interesting about this is so do other people. We just got the Best of VMworld 2016 award, Gold Award for Desktop and Application Delivery, and that's interesting because we're here over some pretty powerful other VDI vendors. But you know what the difference is? We call those VDI 1.0 vendors, and we are VDI 2.0. Okay. So that's what I want to show you today. Like, why do we call ourselves VDI 2.0? What does that really mean, right?
Right.
So I got a slide here that helps us dive into that.
Okay.
You know, in this world here where you lay out a network diagram, if you take a look in the data center, you usually find something in VDI 1.0. You find two things. You find infrastructure back here, you know, where you actually store your desktops and data and app, and then on top of that, you usually have a stack of servers doing orchestration and control and provisioning and all that sort of stuff, right? So you've been asked over the years to install that complex software and make it work and secure it and make it redundant, and every time you have a new data center, you got to install it again.
Yeah.
So we suggest that that makes no sense whatsoever. Instead, we, Workspot, over the last 4 years, have created a cloud-based architecture to do all that work for you.
Okay.
It's in the cloud. All you have to do is you open a browser and you create an account in Workspot, and now all your control activity is here. Your pull-down menus and everything are in your browser, and they all connect down into the data center. So we have a little connector there that ties into your hypervisor, and from up here you say, fire off, 200 new desktops in a pool and use this template.
Yeah.
You tell it up here, but it happens down here. So the only thing that's on site is that infrastructure, and it's nice and close to the users, right? So that works out great. And then we go over here and we have our own Workspace Client that connects into us, and we give it full instructions for that user exactly where to go to hit their desktops and apps. So there's nothing in the way. It's incredibly fast, and we stay out of the way at that point. All authentication and data traffic is down below, never going up into the control plane, and we do the full control plane not only down to one data center like you see here, but to multiple data centers around the world. The only thing you have to put in those data centers is infrastructure. Okay? Yeah. So that's it. One control plane, multi-tenant already for you, connects in everywhere.
I mean, it's really impressive because so many companies out there, I think they've had VDI probably on their to-do list, for years now. They want to do VDI, they have infrastructure, but VDI it's complex, they need training, and it's expensive. And all the different pieces that make it happen, the connection broker and high availability for the connection brokers, and it's gotten even more complex, as the years have gone by. It hasn't gotten easier from what I've seen from most of the different, VDI offerings. So
well, in the VDI 1.0 world, that's true. For the vendors that are in that space, it's definitely been complicated, and unnecessarily so, but it's just, it hasn't changed in that space. So Workspot did step in and change the game entirely because of VDI 2.0 and the cloud architecture.
Very smart, very smart. So let me ask you kind of some what-if questions here.
Yeah.
So say I have some infrastructure already, maybe I have vSphere and some local storage or whatever. What if I want to change my hypervisor, or what if I run out of capacity to run VDI virtual machines in my own infrastructure?
Great question. Well, hey, by the way, that last slide I showed you up here shows us in an environment where we're connected into different forms of infrastructure all over the world. So you could have some legacy, NetApp or EMC over here. You might have some hyperconverged, and you might even have Azure or some other form of cloud over here, right?
Okay.
You can put any infrastructure you want anywhere. You can put your desktops and apps wherever you like. You put our little controller in, we tie into that, tie into the hypervisor, and then control all that activity below, right? And then we farm that out here, send it out to the users. As I go back to this diagram, send that information back to the users, and we don't care what's happening over here. So in this case, you can see I've got desktops and apps in my data center. I can migrate some of my apps into Azure, and we can control that also. And we can say, look, I need engineers to go in and hit the data center, but I want the finance organization to pull their apps out of Azure and bring it back into here. So this is an entire hybrid environment. Choose whatever you like. You could be on one, you could be on all different kinds across the world. The multi-tenant environment here will handle that seamlessly.
Very nice, very nice. So if I want to deploy VDI, it doesn't matter if I change my hypervisor, if I move to hyperconvergence, or if I just run out of capacity, I want to run it in the cloud. You all have it covered here, and you have it covered across multiple different clients, Windows, Mac, iOS, Android.
That's right.
You can connect to your VDI desktop no matter where you are and what device you're using.
No matter where you are, all the primary platforms, Windows, Mac, iOS, and Android, and what we've done in this case is we've actually created a Workspace Client.
Okay.
So it's a Workspace Client that goes out there and it has everything built in equally on all those platforms. So it has a VPN client built in, so it'll use your existing SSL VPN infrastructure that you have in play now. It'll connect into that. Single sign-on, two-factor authentication will establish the secure connection, right? On top of that, we have RDP10 and RemoteFX with a secure browser and client FS, all native in the client. So they'll connect in and they'll pull out desktops, apps, Windows, web apps, data, bring it out here, and they'll render it all locally so the experience is much better. So you've got the control plane in the cloud, multi-tenant, right? Cloud native microservices the way it should be, and then you have a Workspace client the way it should be, also full-figured on all platforms, all functionality.
Okay, and I don't have to be a VDI expert to configure it either. Is that true?
You don't. In fact, we have the 60-minute challenge, right? So you go to our website, you click on the 60-minute challenge, one of our solutions engineers gets on the phone with you. In 60 minutes, with sharing screens, we'll open a browser, create an account for you, we'll actually connect into your resources, we'll walk you through installing the client, we'll get them connected, and your client will actually bring a desktop up on it within 60 minutes, and it's usually about 30 minutes, and then you get 30 more to talk about things, right? And so you can imagine deploying this in days, days, weeks. And so no, you don't have to have a PhD in VDI 1.0 to pull this off. You never should have had to, right? The notion of what's happening up here should be up there, right?
Yeah.
Now the other vendors are moving up there also, but what they're doing, that huge complex stack that's over here, they're just moving that up into the cloud. And then they have another customer that wants it, they copy and paste that into the cloud again and again and again. It's not multi-tenant, it's sort of going out of business sale, right? This is pure cloud native microservices, infinitely and instantly scalable, as you would expect.
Very nice, very nice. I mean, I love what you guys are doing to make VDI easier, less complex, and more affordable. So, I'm interested in trying it myself. What do people do if they want to try it?
Good question, man. And where do you just get more information in general, right? If you go to our Workspot website, we've taken some time recently and put a lot of great information here. You go to this site and you're going to see what our tagline is. We haven't talked about this, but VDI made insanely simple. That's 2.0. Hey, look at this. Best of VMworld. So we want to get that up there too. But you know what? Pop through that, go over to the resources tab over here and click on videos and white papers, and you're going to see we have a series of videos. So grab a bowl of popcorn, right?
Okay.
Maybe a bucket, right? But introduction, interview with the CEO. We got CTO deep dives on the cloud and on the client architecture, and then we've got a solutions engineer going over how to use the product, how to launch applications in VDI, all the little bits and pieces you know. When you consume all these videos, you will feel like you are an employee of Workspot, and you'll definitely want to take the 60-minute challenge and start using it right away. Free trial.
Awesome, awesome. So for more information, workspot.com. Thanks so much for your info today, Brad.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks, David.